Hopkins has taken third place in each of the last two 4A state tournaments. This year, they cleared a hurdle to reach the final. They'll go for the championship against the Panthers, who won it back-to-back 2 years ago, but now a cast of no-names seeks an upset.
To stand and be the one, second to none. Now is the time for me to step into the light. Step it up, and I'm ready and willing to fight for the master plan of the man with the jam has the upper hand. Here I am. Now is the time. Now is the time.
Wabasso, Brecken, Minneapolis North call themselves champions for 2004. Who will be our fourth in 04? Fox 9 presents the Class 4A championship game between the Hopkins Royals and the Lakeville Panthers. Welcome back to the Target Center, everybody. I'm Jeff Grayson. The red of Wilmer and the blue of Minneapolis North has been replaced by the red of Lakeville and the blue of Hopkins right behind me. These Royals fans are pumped. Here's how these teams got here. Hopkins defeated Osseo in the semifinal, Centennial in the quarter. As for the Panthers, they defeated defending champion Woodbury in the semis on Thursday. In the quarters, they knocked off Elk River. We think our last game could be the best one of the day. Let's hope so. It should be a dandy. Here are our game announcers, Anthony LaPanta and Janet Carvin. And Anthony?
Well, thanks very much, Jeff. It's really an intriguing contrast. Once again, it seems like we talk about that in each matchup, but Hopkins, a team that was expected to be here. They were ranked in the top 2 or 3 all year. In fact, they've taken third place each of the last 2 seasons. Lakeville came out of nowhere. They won back-to-back titles in 2001, 2002, but that was with Liz Ponomanic. This was supposed to be a rebuilding year at Lakeville, and instead, here they are riding a hot streak playing in the state championship game.
Well, they put it together at the right time. They've had some ups and downs through the season, but these are players who've worked hard. They're a good athletic team, and they really have come together. They've had some adversity, but in terms of timing, in terms of a team peaking at the right time, it sounds like Lakeville has done that this season. And
another player peaking at the right time is maybe the state's best player, Leslie Knight from Hopkins. 29 points, 12 rebounds in the semifinal. She's headed to the University of Minnesota and is, simply put, the best player on the floor here tonight.
She is. She was named Metro Player of the Year. Many people think she's favored to win the Miss Basketball of Minnesota award. She's an inside and out player. And Coach Pam Borton from the University of Minnesota is thrilled because of her good attitude, her great team work ethic, and just all-around talent that she possesses. It'll be exciting for her future.
Well, if you want to talk about teamwork, Lakeville is a perfect example of that. This is a team without a single big star, but Shelly Soule was a big factor. She had 9 in the semifinals. They also got 15 from Candace Brown. This is a team that has weapons. Their guards can put it on the floor. They can shoot the ball. They have enough to stay with this Hopkins team at the very least tonight.
They do, but they need a team effort. They need balanced scoring. They have 3 players that have averaged double figures throughout the season. But in terms of Hopkins, people who see them play routinely don't think there's anybody that can probably challenge them. So we will see in our last state championship of the evening.
We'll get you set for tip-off next on Fox 9. Hopkins and Lakeville for the Big School Championship. 1 game remains in the 2004 State High School girls basketball season. Our key matchup tonight brought to you by Nissan. Lillimo for Hopkins, Candace Brown for Lakeville. This one could be one to watch.
Well, both are outstanding players. Caitlin Lillimo, the player who does a lot of things well, but her ability to shoot and score tonight, take some of that pressure off of Leslie Knight, will be something to watch. And Candace Brown is going to have a lot to do with Leslie Knight because she's going to be facing up against her, guarding her this evening.
At least to start, but we expect to see several different looks from Lakeville defensively. This Lakeville backcourt is one that I think is underrated. They can shoot the ball. They can put the ball on the floor. They'll be fun to watch tonight. Let's meet the players, and for that, here is public address announcer David Giles.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We welcome you to Target Center and to the 29th annual Minnesota State High School Girls Basketball Tournament. This game is for the Class 4A State Championship, and it features the Section 2 champion, the Royals from Hopkins High School. And the Section 1 champion, the Panthers from Lakeville High School. First, we would like to recognize the reserve players for both teams. First, the reserve players for Hopkins. And here are the reserve players for Lakeville. Now let's meet the starting lineups for tonight's championship game. They will be introduced alternately, starting with Hopkins. At forward, a 5'9" senior, number 22, Amy Ensler. At forward for Lakeville, a 5'10" senior, number 13, Judy Falvey. At forward for the Royals, a 5'8" junior, number 32, Caitlin Lillamo. At forward for the Panthers, a 5'10" senior, number 44, Brianna Shea. At center for Hopkins, a 6' senior, number 45, Leslie Knight. At center for Lakeville, a 5'11" senior, number 42, Lindsay Schultz. At guard for the Royals, a 5'7" sophomore, number 10, Abby Green. At guard for the Panthers, a 5'9" senior, number 11, Shelley Sowell. At guard for Hopkins, a 5'6" senior, number 12, Annie Isler. And at guard for Lakeville, a 5'9" senior, number 21, Candace Brown. The head coach of the Hopkins Royals is Brian Cosgriff. The head coach of the Lakeville Panthers is Andy Birkbaum. The officials for this championship game are Stacy Jameson, Pat Pollard, and Ann Nearing.
There you have the players, the starting lineups. Now let's take a look at our car suit starting lineups. In the backcourt for Hopkins, it's Abby Green and Annie Isler, Amy Ensler, Kate Lillamo, Leslie Knight. Soul and Falvey in the backcourt for Lakeville, Brown, Schultz, and Shea up front. Here's our Schmelz game plan.
When you talk about Hopkins, you have to talk about Leslie Knight. She will definitely show us what she's made her great this year, but the supporting cast of that team is going to have to contribute in many ways, especially in the scoring column, for Hopkins to have a chance to win. Tonight, Lakeville is going to have to rely on team defense. Not only defend Knight, but everyone else. And I don't know that one person can shut down Leslie Knight, so it's going to take a good team approach and great help. And lastly, balanced scoring. Both coaches before the game talked about that. The more balance they have, the more likely they will be able to win this game.
We're set to go. The Panthers in red, the Royals in white. Over at Brian Cosgriff on the Hopkins bench, he can barely contain a grin. He's that excited about tonight's game. And we're underway.